So that brings us to the art of the apology and perilous pub crawls.
Yes.
Yes. So this one was due to technical difficulties. David couldn't make it, so this was another one of my how do I make things happen without, without ditching another character. So we slowed the pacing a little bit, but you guys get to a new district of the city, which is what this city is full of fun social experiments for me, and the voice is a good one.
Yeah. The sort of the collection of the city's unwanted poor folks.
Right. This is where a lot of the slaves are quartered, current and former slaves. It's very, it's not centered, but slavery exists in certain districts of the city. Also, the working poor and various other exploited economic underclasses. And yet, it's the brightest, happiest thing you guys have been in.
I really like the voice.
Episode. What's that, Struana?
I really like the voice.
And what does that say about you?
I am chaotic good, and I'm all right with suffering to be overall content. That's pretty much what it says about me, I think.
Correct.
Every district in the city has a district alignment. The kind of as I'm thinking of the way the governments work and the city interacts with the rest of the cities. I think of it in an alignment scale, and the voice is absolutely chaotic good. That's and you guys caught on to that. But how does a chaotic good complete autonomous anarchy, how does that function? What does that mean? So you guys got to explore a little of that.
I like that you used magic instead of hierarchy. I mean, it works in your world, but you used magic instead of hierarchy, and that's staying with the general sort of anarchist idea of we don't need to have a hierarchy to get along. That works out.
Right. Somehow, all of the the general universal income, the that's based on how cool you are to your neighbors, not like popularity, but actually like good works and goodwill. And there's a deep, dark mystery as to why that exists, and I know all the details. But
that's
the
good,
effect
I want to explore all the details.
What's that?
That's good because I want to explore all the details.
Good. Well, then I will make sure that they're all internally consistent and can withstand scrutiny.
Good practice.
Right. Also, an educational session, apology as theater, with the how to make an actual real life apology. That was the more you know.
That made me. I just geeked out on that whole minute there. But it made me really happy to get to tweet. These are the steps that you do to make an apology. So much of human interaction really can be, here are these 5 steps, take them in this order. Does it work 100% of the time? No. Does it work 98% of the time? Yes. The other 2% is an outlier and should be discarded.
There you go.
Yeah, Stan got to make his apology for really not doing much of anything, but seeming to have offended. It seemed the thing to do. So.
I'm sorry I was talking in line while the other guy was apologizing. I think was the actual offense for which you apologized. I should really take it more seriously, and I'm sorry.
Yeah. So, and then I think I was tweeting to Struana, I'm experiencing culture. Look here, I'm doing it.
And I was over here like, I'm encouraging you.
It's like a kid about to get on a roller coaster by himself for the first time. You know, it's like, look, I'm gonna do it. Here I am.
I'm tall enough.
Oh my God.
And the scene, as the scene resolved, it eventually led you to, you know, something that actually mattered in the quest. You ran into Brosk Tannermere, who later you find out is like from the deposed house that used to own the city. But in the meantime, he's just this kind of gruff, warrior-y type. You ask him for help, and he's like, all right, maybe. Prove to me that any help I give you isn't going to be wasted when you fall face flat in front of a zombie.
And then we literally saved his life.
Yeah, literally. Yes.
Bam.
Yes. So you go on. He takes you out on this pub crawl because, as you discover at nighttime, the place is just infested with undead. And this is one of those encounters where, like, you know, I was going to grind you through a couple of level ones because we had a player out and I didn't want to do anything significant, but I still wanted to have some fun. And you know, so the simple, light series of combats seemed like a fun game at the time. So we have a couple that lead to some dramatic moments, like Struana critically failing a resurrection, and having a second fight that wasn't planned, and then a CR4 Banshee just snips the cord on your new friend. It's like, roll the 1 on his con save. CR4, you guys are 9th level at this point. CR4 creature just wrecked one. Turned the whole pub.
There's a storyline in I cannot remember which book right now of ElfQuest, but one of the ElfQuest ones where a main character gets bit by a squirrel, and the squirrel bite gets infected, and essentially the character gets sepsis and is dying from a squirrel bite, and they're like very fierce. They, you know, there's all sorts of battles that they're in, and there's like, really a squirrel bite, really? Would you be like, don't underestimate the low-level characters. They still get crits. You still roll poorly. Happens.
Do you know how Jack Daniels died?
Did I know that who died?
Yeah.
How Jack Daniels died.
Oh,
no, I don't know that.
From complications from injuries he suffered from kicking a safe.
Wow.
How old was he when he kicked the safe?
I don't think that old.
Too old for the times.
Yeah. Also, drinking that much Jack Daniels will age you.
So tactically using low-level critters, and I do it, you know, kind of all over the place. When there's bands of small, you know, the goblins or the pirates or these things that say, you know, I try to have them, especially if they're intelligent creatures, work tactically.
It was totally sepsis that Jack Daniels died of.
Called it. One other example of that, like low-level GM diabolicalness, diabolism? No, I don't know. That's not the same thing. But if you check out a story that's kicking around, I'm sure you can find it on Reddit or somewhere on the web, called about Tucker's Goblins. It was a story way back in one of the Dragons, or Tucker's Kobolds, in one of the Dragon magazines. It's essentially like, there's, you know, the first level of the dungeon is infested by these clever, awful, vicious kobolds that, like, level 12 characters are just like, just run, just power run through the first level, get to the second level where it's just demons and shit.